Guys, it's the holiday season. It's the time of giving, receiving. So you want to share something with your loved ones, your friends. You want to protect maybe some things you have in your own house. So what better gift than security? We actually dived in the internet to see what kind of presents, security related, most people would buy for this holiday season. And we end up on one of the best selling products from Ring, which is their Ring Spotlight Cam Pro, which is an outdoor camera. And yes, most people actually bought that this holiday season to secure their premise or the one of a loved one. Now we're gonna review this product, not to say it's not a bad holiday gift, but just to make sure you understand what you're getting into when you buy this exact product. All right, let's get to it. Alright guys, so this is the boxing you would receive as a present, and honestly, nice packaging from Ring. So let's dive in right inside the box and see what your family and friends will uncover when they open this box. So first off, we have what I think is the camera and a bunch of accessories, and as you can see, already the box is empty. So small packaging. I always love the eco-friendly stuff that you have with the Ring, any kind of Ring products actually. They use always eco-responsible boxing, so a lot of cardboards. Here we have a micro USB. This will be used to charge your battery pack, if I remember correctly, because again, their products are all really similar. So if you used the video doorbell before, you know what's inside. You have the user guide and the warranty and safety. You have a nice little sticker, and this one is kind of nice because since we have the Pro version, we have the enhanced audio with it, which is kind of what the Pro means in there. So you have not only additional motion detection, but you also have enhanced audio. That means that you have echo cancellation, and apparently the voice, if someone talks to the camera itself, is really clear. What else? Here we have the little packaging when you want to install the junction box on the wall. Again, a nice little package. And now we're gonna remove the rest here. So in that area, you have the junction box itself. So this one, and we will see during the onboarding how it actually works, but you can take a guess, right? You just slide it up like this, and this is the part you will screw in your wall for the camera to stabilize on there. And finally, the moment we've all been waiting for. So you see the light will already be blue because I cheated. I'm not a good person, so I opened my gift before you guys arrive, just to make sure everything was perfectly working right there. So this is the last part of the unboxing, which is the Ring Spotlight Cam Pro itself. Now, you might have noticed that there's no battery in the pack. And that was kind of a weird thing for me, because during the onboarding that we will show in just a second, they tell you to actually plug in the battery before starting the installation of your camera. But there's no battery nowhere to be found, and it's because it's already inside the camera itself. So a good way to check it is when you remove this sticker in the back, you can actually unlock your camera. So when you turn it like this, you can remove the bottom part and you have access to your battery right here. So all you need to do is push, it's written right there, and it will remove the battery itself, and you can plug it in right away. Now, plugging in is a long process. I think I charged it to 50% in like 2 hours. So take your time. It's not a race, it's about security, so it's okay if it's a long process. All right, closing it back. And now let's get to the onboarding phase. So when you want to set up this camera, how it actually works. As you can see in the back, you have a small QR code. All you need to do is install the Ring application on your phone, whether it's an iOS or inside Google Play. And from there, you would scan the QR code and you will be prompted to enroll this camera on a Wi-Fi network. So when it's connected, this is when the fun begins. So this is when you can actually set up the motion detection and all that kind of stuff. So the onboarding is, again, when you have your phone, you open your phone inside the Ring application. I'll go through it with you guys. And basically, the first thing you need to do, again, is charge your battery. And you will see it's kind of funny because the screens are reversed. They will tell you to charge the battery and then they will tell you to put it inside. Again, I've just shown you, the battery is already inside. So don't look for it. I've looked for it for a while there because I take everything literally. So there was no battery inside the box. It was kind of weird to me. After that, firmware update. Make sure you update every firmware you have to make sure that you have the perfect quality on your camera. And we go on the other onboarding phase, which is the installation. So again, we showed the junction bracket, and this is an important part because they will give you the right angle you need to put your camera on if you want to use the bird eye view, which is their new motion detection, their 3D feature. So with that 3D feature, they believe, and that's what they advertise too, that you increase your motion detection range and also the way it detects. So you kind of have a satellite view and you show the person entering your premise from that section. So you're kind of able to see where he goes left and right. So how did it enter, for example, your backyard? When this is done, you can also set up your motion. The way motion works, and we'll do it later on, is that the camera itself, when it's installed, let's say like this, it will take a snapshot of what it sees on the application. And from there, you will draw your own box, and it's inside this box that the motion detection will be triggered. And yeah, most of the things are, again, pretty easy to do. You follow each step, you do it with the application. So it's a great thing that Ring has, is this onboarding where if you're new to the security world, so again, if it's a gift and you give it to maybe your mother, a friend that never installed a camera, all he needs to do is follow these steps along about the privacy, about different modes, and the camera would be good to go in just a few minutes. I think it took me about 3 minutes and the camera was really good to go. All right, now we've seen what's inside the box, but what's actually inside the camera. So what are you really getting from the Ring Spotlight Cam Pro? We're talking about a 1080p lens, which they say it's a night color lens, but again, if you've seen our video doorbell review, they always claim it's night color. It really is not, right? You need lights outside to be able to capture the colors in front of the camera itself. And that's a good thing about this camera. As you can see on each side of the lens, and that's why it's called a spotlight, you have two LED lights that does, I think it's 3000 degrees Kelvin. And for those of you who don't know and are like, okay, what does that mean? I'm gonna show you right now. So just put your sunglasses or something. I'm sorry, so be aware, there are gonna be a lot of lights right now. So when this appears in front of someone that comes in your backyard, I'm pretty sure he's gonna get blinded. So it's a good deterrence factor. I like those kind of lights. So again, the night color feature is kind of a, okay, we have night color, but you don't really need it when you have that kind of lights on your camera. So again, it's a nice feature. You have a field of view of 140 degrees to 80 degrees, if I'm not wrong. So 140 degrees horizontal and 80 degrees vertical. You have a siren. So underneath here, you actually have this metal mesh. I'm gonna remove this. That's a beautiful sound. So you have the metal mesh for the audio. So this is where the siren sound would go off. I will do the siren sound soon in the video. I will tell you when, because again, it's really loud, so I don't want to make a bad surprise, a bad joke on you guys and just blow out your ears. But this is also one of the features of the Pro camera. So the Audio Plus, I mentioned it before, that it removed the echo cancellation and it enhanced the speech towards the camera itself. Another big feature for this one is the dual band Wi-Fi. What does that mean exactly is that you have a better connectivity when you're connected to the Wi-Fi. So you have, I think it's 5 gigahertz wavebands connection versus the other cameras that normally use a 2.4 gigahertz connection. With the 1080p lens, you have also the HDR lens, which means it's high dynamic range. It helps with the exposure to different light conditions. So if there's a lot of light or if it's dark, the lens will adjust itself to reflect a better picture. So better quality overall. And yeah, and that's pretty much it. So now that we know what's inside, why don't we have a look at it? We're gonna go for a quick installation and show you live what it actually looked like. All right, so we are in our studio downtown Montreal. We just did our small setup. As you can see on the screen right there, it's we were testing it just before you guys arrived with us. So this is a product that we've tested before, but now outside it's a beautiful look. You have snow already on the ground. I'll stop babbling and I'll get right into it. So now we're going to set up the motion detection on your device. So again, you're gifting it to someone you love, never installed before a security camera, you want to help them. Really easy to install on the surface like this, but how to set up the motion detection. So if you skip the onboarding and you don't really know how to do it, it's pretty easy. You go inside the application, you click on dashboard, so which is the three little lines, on the top left, and then devices. When you have on devices, you have the new camera that you have right here. Ours is Pipl Ring Spotlight. You click on here, and from there you actually go into motion settings. And before that, you can see that you can toggle the motions. So you can toggle motion detection. That means that it will record any motion that comes across the camera. You can record motion alerts. That means that every motion will be sent to your phone itself. Now, motion warning is not activated because it doesn't work on that camera. So if you click on it, you will just receive a prompt saying that it's not yet available. I believe Ring will make it available in the near future. Now, you go down a little bit inside the application, you click on motion settings, and from there you have two options. So you have the bird eye zones that we mentioned before, which is the 3D motion zones from Ring, which is a Pro special feature, and you have the camera motion zones. If you click on camera motion zones, the camera will take a snapshot of what it sees, and from there you actually draw a box. Sorry guys, it's church, it's noon, everybody is happy right now. So you draw a box, and in that box, any motion that comes across will be detected. So you draw the box, you save it by clicking on save, and then you go back. Now, again, if you go further down in the motion zones, you have the motion sensitivity. So right now it's set to medium. If you would like to be as sensible as possible, so as soon as someone comes across, you can put it to the max level. You save again. Remember to always save your settings because they will be lost if you just go back. And then you have the smart alerts. That means that if you want to do person detection per se, so not animals, only person, you can toggle it here. You go back. And motion schedule. So you don't want to have motion detection enabled at all time. Maybe you just want them during the night itself, so not during the afternoon when you're doing a barbecue. All right, so you go inside motion schedule. Here you can plan your schedule for your camera itself. Now, when you detect a motion, you will receive an alert, and the way to see it is on your dashboard. So on the main page here, as you can see, the camera detected some movement from our producer right there. You can click on it and you can go back, and you have the person detected right there on the timeline. which is a nice feature again when you're using Smart Alert. It tells you exactly what's happening, and you can see it like this. All right, and again, when you go inside your device and when you receive an alert, you can receive the alert and click on live view, and it will give you a live footage of what's happening. Inside this alert, you also have a small pre-roll, so it gives you like 3 seconds before the motion was detected to understand what's really happening. So from which side one individual would come rather than the other. Thank you, the bells are now done. Thank you for staying with me throughout this. Some small details that needs to be addressed. This is a battery camera. The more feature you put inside this camera, the more it will drain the battery. Now you can put up 2 batteries in the camera itself, so the batteries last up to 6 to 12 months. It's not a lot of times, okay? So when you turn on smart alerts, when you turn on the lights, when you turn on any kind of motion detection, so the further you put them to the performance, well, the further the battery will be drained. So keep that in mind when you're doing this kind of installation. It can be kind of a maintenance process and hard to do. All right, now guys, my fingers are kind of blue. We'll go back inside the studio. Okay, now we're back inside. Thank you for sticking with us. And we wanted to show you also the bird eye view, because again, it's one of the new feature of this Pro Spotlight Cam from Ring. And we wanted to cover it, but we had a small problem, let's say. So if you go in the application and you click on motion settings, you click on bird's eye zone, and then it will help you. So again, an onboarding process on how to set it up. But the thing is that since we're in downtown Montreal, we don't have a clear view of where we are. So as you can see on the screen right now, it creates a satellite view of your environment, and us is pretty much a building. So you cannot create a zone inside the building if you want to trigger an alarm or whatever it is. So it's better to use if you have a house or where you have a backyard and where you have clear views of your environment to set up the bird eye view. Now keep in mind that the bird eye view is a good tool. It will enhance the motion detection, but in a smaller area. What I mean by this is that if you're using motion detection, you can see to up to 40 feet. So it will trigger an alarm from 40 feet deep. If you're turning on bird eye view, this will lower the motion detection to what I believe to be 25 feet. So yes, you will be able to track in a satellite view where the intruder came from, but you will lose the depth of the motion detection. So again, keep those things in mind. Yes, it can be a good feature, but you're kind of trading it in exchange for it be more accurate, but you lose some range in it. So it's not ideal for everyone there. Another thing to note, we spoke about the battery life, that it's really limited, but inside the application, when you go back, I'll just click on the X here. So you have the accessories section under your camera, and you have access to some solar panel or extension cable that you can put on your camera itself. What that means is that if you want to plug it in, well, you actually have a USB-C port behind the camera. So if you look down here, you have like a small slot that you can remove. So I'm gonna remove it right now. And you have access to a USB-C port. This is where you would connect the solar panel, and this is also where you would connect the extension cable. So if you don't want to be stuck with just the batteries and change them every time you receive a notice because they're low, you can always buy the accessories to help you enhance the life of your camera. All right guys, so is the Spotlight Cam Pro from Ring a great gift for Christmas? Will it make you run under the tree and unwrap this package and scream out loud because that's the one you wanted for so long? Again, we think it is because it's better than no security. So if you're giving it to a friend or family member and they have nothing, like no cameras, no alarm systems, Well, this is better than nothing, right? You have the deterrence factor from the siren. We will show the siren. Wait until the end of the video. You have the deterrence factor of the lights. Again, great light for outdoor cameras. And with the alarms on your phone, it's a good product. But you have to keep in mind some specific things, okay? So we've been in the security industry for a long time. We've been in the professional security industry for a long time, so more than 10 years. So we can compare with what people use in other settings. So good graded cameras that you use in banks and stuff like that. So when you try to protect your house, maybe you need to look at some specific features. For example, when we're talking about the lens, here we only have a 1080p lens, so it's 2 megapixel-ish. And it's not ideal for outdoor security because you can miss some details if there's a lot of actions. You need to have a clear picture of what's going on out there, okay? Even the night color, okay, you have the lights there, but since you're using a battery-powered camera, the more lights goes on, the more power you will lose. So you need to always maintain this camera. So it's not ideal again. I know they sell some cables that you can plug in, but that means more installation. So you're losing the easy installation that you normally have from Ring. And finally, well, you need to pay for the cloud storage from Ring. So every month, so it becomes an expensive gift, you need to pay a certain fee to be able to access your file and use all these features. So instead of having a local storage, in which case you have always access to your data and you can manage them, well, that's the other option there. So again, is it a good gift? Yes, if they don't have any kind of security. Is it the perfect gift? We don't think so, okay? But again, it's not that bad. So what do you think? Would it make a good Christmas gift for your family and friend? Or if not, why? So tell us in the comment below, or just tell us what you're getting for Christmas for your friends, okay? All right, guys, it was a great day. We hope you liked the video, and stay a little while and we'll showcase the sirens just for you. All right, thank you, guys. I will actually, and we can add the details for the decibels here. Okay. Siren. All right. It's 96 decibels. Not bad.